And so here at Loyola, I find a good balance between athletics and academics.
I think I've learned a lot from playing lacrosse. You prioritize your work. You feel good about yourself.
I'm taken away from that, the feeling that you can accomplish things.
Walking through campus, I mean, obviously parents are happy if they have one daughter or son here.
People get to know you.
Next year, a freshman comes in from the same family.
Students come to Loyola because they want the skills that will help them make a good living. We give them the skills that will help them to make a good life.
Back at the Knickerbocker Arena, we're getting set for the second game, and if it matches what the first game was, we'll have a dandy finish to the MAAC semifinals. And a terrific finish, the Canisius Golden Griffins coming back, and stunning, once again, a higher-seeded team. The Iona Gales, a dramatic finish. Greg Barr with an opportunity to win the game in the closing seconds, could not. And Canisius, minus Darryl Barley, comes up with a thrilling victory to advance to the finals. Perhaps we'll have an all-Buffalo final because Niagara, wearing that glass slipper from last night, will take on a very strong Fairfield club. For more on this game, let's go for a preview to Mike Crispino and Glenn Consor.
Thanks very much, Barry Landers, and we have another one coming up. It's Fairfield and Niagara. Fairfield, the #2 seed, and if form, which hasn't been holding at all in this tournament, holds here, Fairfield will be sent home, and Niagara will give all of Western New York something to cheer about because it'll be an all-Western New York final, and you know a lot of folks around here would be happy to see that.
Oh, absolutely. I think the key to this game has to be tempo. It's going to be who can disrupt whose offense. Niagara's strength is in their inside game with guys like Watson and Colombo, and Fairfield's strength, obviously, is their ability to put you to sleep with that 35-second clock running their offense.
Did I say that Canisius could beat Iona? I believe I did.
I think you did.
I just wanted to remind you.
And I questioned him about that in the open of the last show.
Well, you should question anything that I predict because I'm terrible at it, but I did think Canisius had been playing well, and I wasn't sure Iona was at the top of its game, but I do believe that Fairfield's at the top of their game. What about Niagara? They're coming off a big win, too.
Well, Niagara right now is playing on purely emotion. Their adrenaline is flowing. They went late last night, obviously, and that might be an issue this game, is how quickly they can recover from playing basketball to midnight last night. But the issue is, again, Watson's got to have a big game, but also Jeremiah Johnson, the freshman point guard, has to make sure he takes care of the basketball, limit his turnovers.
Who, by the way, Fran Fischilla said should be on the all-rookie team, Jeremiah Johnson. We'll have more. We're coming back moments away. It's Fairfield and Niagara. The Marine Midland MAAC semifinals continue on the MAAC Television Network.
Distinguish yourself at Manhattan College, ranked among the top Northeastern colleges and universities by U.S. News and World Report. Join our caring campus community in Riverdale, New York, where the student-to-professor ratio is 15-1. Be part of an impressive group of Manhattan College alumni, ranked 3rd in the nation in corporate leadership. Whether your goal is business, arts, education, engineering, or science, we'll help you show the world what makes you unique. Call 1-800-MC2-EXCEL.
Jack Armstrong's Purple Eagles are the surprise guest in the semifinals. The bench brigade was responsible for a quarterfinal shocker. Jermaine Young and the rest of the reserves combined for 23 points late last night. Outside fireworks gave Niagara its needed edge. And Super All-MAAC selection Chris Watson found the range late in an upset of streaking Manhattan. The rampaging Fairfield Stags started slowly again against St. Peter's, but Greg Francis caught fire in crunch time, and the Stags clawed their way past the stingy Peacocks. Senior Sean Clark and others rebounded to save the day, and Shannon Bowman patrolled the paint like a man possessed. The Stags are 2 wins away from a long-awaited return to the NCAA.
Live from the Knickerbocker Arena in Albany, New York, it's the Marine Midland MAAC semifinals. In tonight's final game, the Cinderella Niagara Purple Eagles take on the number 2 seed, the Fairfield Stags. Well, hi again, everyone. I'm Barry Landers, and welcome back for what should be a terrific finish to this MAAC tournament. It all began at 12 noon yesterday. This was a wide-open tournament, and so far we've seen upsets galore. Taking a look at the brackets, first of all, we'll see in the top half of the bracket, Canisius advancing with a thrilling victory over the number 1 seed Iona, as Iona had a chance to win it, but could not on the final shot by Greg Barr. Ryan Collins coming up very big. Then in the lower half of the bracket, you see Fairfield and Niagara advancing. Niagara with a stunning victory over Manhattan, and Fairfield fighting off a huge deficit at the outset against St. Peter's to win. Right now, for a preview of tonight's big second game, let's go to Mike Crispino and Glenn Consour.
Thanks very much, Barry Landers. The Stags have swept Niagara twice. They've been close ball games at home and away. And this Niagara team, which finished, I believe it was early this morning with a win over Manhattan, did it without Chris Watson really making a big contribution, and he's a huge factor for their team.
Seems to be the theme of the whole tournament, making big plays without your star player. This Niagara team also earlier this year beat St. Peter's with Watson on the bench. Last night they beat Manhattan with Watson on the bench. So all of a sudden, the complexion of how they play, they need big games from guys like Hassan Abdullah, Lutiki Colombo, who are making outside shots, and both of those guys are over 6'7".
Watson only had 9 points in the game. Shannon Bowman carried the Fairfield Stags down the stretch. It was Bowman and Greg Francis in their victory, and now they're just 2 wins away, as we mentioned in that little open, from going back to the NCAA tournament. Been a decade since they've had this kind of success for Fairfield. Bowman and Francis try to get them to the championship game. The starting lineups coming up on the opening tip when we return on the MAAC Television Network.
And for Fairfield.
Look at the starting lineups for Jack Armstrong and Niagara. Watson, Brent Beamer, Jobity, Johnson, and O'Connor in the backcourt. And for Fairfield, Paul Cormier has Shane Miller, Shannon Bowman, Laser Cohen, Miche Gaddis, and Greg Francis. Fairfield in the white, controlling. Higher seeded teams wear the home uniforms. Game officiated tonight by John Cahill, Joe Mingle, Mike Kitts, some familiar faces. Laser Cohen opens the scoring inside.
Jack Armstrong's theory against Fairfield stopped the big 3. And those 3 are Bowman, Francis, and Miller.
The shot missed by Kevin Jobity. Brent Beamer will match up with Shane Miller. Shannon Bowman working against Chris Watson. Francis was ice cold. St. Peter's until the final moments when he made some free throws. Has a big 3.
Got Bowman on Watson. 2 guys over 230.
Here's Watson. Tipped away. Ball loose. Going to be Fairfield basketball. John Cahill agreeing with Joe Mingle on the call.
Paul Cormier instructing his team that when the ball goes to Watson, let's put a guy behind him and let the guards go in and dig it out.
Shane Gaddis. Inside, responsible. Jeremiah Johnson, the freshman.
Fairfield foul against number 14, Miche Gaddis. His first team foul.
Johnson getting into the lane, and that's one of the things he can do for this Niagara team is put the ball on the floor, get in the lane, draw and dish.
Phil is sitting at home right now. Listen to Jeremiah Johnson did not have such a good game against the Jaspers and Manhattan. The reasons Niagara hung in there was able to steal them.
I think Francis has a lot to be proud of the way he coached, the way his players have performed this year under Eastern Tournament adversity.
Shane Miller is in a 3 in Fairfield. Off and running, 8-0. A 20-second timeout called by Jack Armstrong.
And they're Here's Shane Miller, who had a quiet game against St. Peter's. Everybody was kind of waiting for him to step it up a notch and make some three-point shots. And Jack talking to Jeremiah Johnson, saying, hey, we cannot let them pull up from three. We got to get in their faces. Too much room when Miller catches. So you got to get there earlier. You got to disrupt the rhythm. Make them put it on the floor. Fairfield's the type of team you want to make those shooters dribble. Get them off balance.
Could you imagine a wake-up call from Jack Armstrong at your hotel?
Be like a siren.
Oh, man. He was in the face of the Purple Eagles early. You mentioned the Eagles were here until about 1 o'clock and they left the line this morning. So, not to make excuses, but go back quickly to play it back. Shannon Bowler playing with a point forward. Donald lays a cone on the box.
I'm the man.
Jordan wants to go and go. Shut out in the opening 2 minutes plus.
Bowman doing a nice job on Watson. Playing the front. Defense that held by they know how to use screens. They have great spacing, and they put you to sleep on defense. They run you deep into the 35-second clock, and then they just kind of make a shot that kind of is the nail through the coffin, and that's been their philosophy all year on offense.
Is that all they do?
Yeah, that's a lot to do.
That's a laundry list.
So that takes 35 seconds
and they
to do
that in 35. That's right.
I took about a minute and a half.
Version will be coming out in all right, so Shane Miller has given the Fairfield Stags the first touchdown. He's got 5 of them. Miller has been off his game so good sign there. This Watson power move inside, and he makes the goal.
Under the basket by number 21, Chris Watson. Fairfield foul whistle against Mike Francis, number 12.
Watson's such a great low post player. He's got those hands. Good catch.
Watson's basket scores.
What a shot. Great concentration. Stayed with it, Mike.
Twisting off balance. Watson is a three-point play. So Niagara on the board.
With 15 minutes
timeout here, 15:50 remaining. Fairfield by an even dozen. We'll be back to the Niagara Arena after these words.
Distinguish yourself at Manhattan College, ranked among the top Northeastern colleges and universities by U.S. News and World Report. Join our caring campus community in Riverdale, New York, where the student-to-professor ratio is 15-1. Be part of an impressive group of Manhattan College alumni, ranked 3rd in the nation in corporate leadership. Whether your goal is business, arts, education, engineering, or science, we'll help you show the world what makes you unique. Call 1-800-MC2-EXCEL.
This MAAC semifinal game is brought to you in part by Pepsi Cola. Nothing else is a Pepsi. Marine Midland Bank, banking for the real world. And New York Lottery. Play New York Lotto because twice a week somebody could win millions of dollars. Hey, you never know. And that's the absolute truth. In fact, that's what they're saying at Niagara University. You never know. They had Manhattan, a 7-game win streak late last night. Down big points. They came back. Paul Cormier, you never knew about the Fairfield program until this year, really, when they turned it around and gone 19-8. And they've started well in this semifinal.
Executing an offense 83% from the floor.
Johnson's shot is off target. For Niagara early. Bowman, low post. Didn't get the run this time. Michel Gaddis, one of the guards on the board. Got the Jermaine Young and got the pass to Johnson. Football corner, hold the guard. Bowman comes out of it, and he marches on. 6'4". I just love those guys. Distance relationship, as a matter of fact. 3 for him. 18-3. Fairfield has come busting
Niagara personal foul whistled against number 22, Brent Beamer.
I'm sorry.
You're not losing track, are you?
Both teams ending the ace.
Fairfield.
Niagara kind of forcing the issue, trying to create something offensively by pushing the ball up the floor. And you know, Jack Armstrong, he's working that gun still. But I did find out he said 1 stick ahead. Are you kidding? I'm not kidding. One stick ahead. So you thought it was more. I thought it was only 1 stick the whole game.
I'm thinking a pack and a half at least.
No.
Francis wants it again. Oh, he's got 4.
Jack needs a timeout. He's got to do something to make sure Francis doesn't catch the ball that easy.
4 3-pointers for Greg Francis in the first 5.5 minutes. 12 for him. The Stags 21-3. We'll be back with more on the MAAC Television Network.
When Francis becomes flammable, you have to do a better job getting around the screens. And that was Akbar Wahid defensively, who has been their best perimeter defensive player. Not on that play.
Greg Francis leads the Niagara Purple Eagles 12-3 right now. Paul Cormier couldn't hope for a better start. 5 of 6.
Ouch.
Outrageous numbers, especially for behind the arc.
Put a Band-Aid on that 0%.
Bowman steps in, intercepts, takes it in, and good defense by Watson. Saved the ball.
Watson just made a terrific play, just was off ball as Bowman tried to use his body.
Shannon Bowman perhaps a little overconfident in the corner. Shoots. Francis. Going to shoot again. Big car at it. Didn't get the car.
Cleaning up Chris.
Johnson. In the trenches, Niagara has it. And we said with only 14 minutes remaining, 21-3. Stags have come out of the game.
Fowler, his first. Team foul number 3. Checking in for the Purple Eagles, number 5, Jeremy Blythe, and number 24, Rusiki Colombo. Checking in for the Stags, number 3, Jane Miller.
Armstrong's the Eagles 13 and 14 another rejection by the Fairfield defense. Shane Miller goes up and running one-hander. He's got
35, number 35, Shannon Bowman, his first. Team foul number 4. Number 10, Jeff O'Connor, returns to the Niagara lineup. And number 50, Laser Coleman, checks back in for Fairfield.
Stags, the regular season co-champions, defeated Iona on Monday night at home to take a share of it. Greg Francis, high, and he'll be called for climbing the ladder.
Sean Clark with a big smile on his face saying, hey, I had to come down on somebody.
That high, you just look for a landing area. Of course, you wouldn't know about that.
That's his first person.
Returning the video exhibition tonight's doubleheader has been backdoor. Francis beats his man. It's taken away. Nice steal.
His first personal, team foul number 6 against the Stags.
Hands up in the air.
Number 21, Chris Watson at the foul line.
Undeniably, permanent state of defensive players in basketball. As a matter of fact, on the national, international, and interplanetary levels. Watson has the first free throw. And he has all of Niagara's points.
Crawford came into Jeff Armstrong's right. Trying to figure out right now how to get their bow in motion.
It's been Chris Watson against the world early, 23-5. Now Watson's going to take the rest with 10 minutes even to go in the first half. So he's a risk for Jeff Armstrong.
Pressure out top by Fife. The post above.
Gaddis goes over on the good help. Too far on the rebound.
rebound in gaps. Totally out of position. Young with the bump. Very athletic. It's like a pogo stick out there.
From Laval, Canada, one of a number of Canadian-born players in the Metro Atlantic. The Canisius and Niagara so close to the Canadian border, I can understand why the interest in the league. Boucard misses the second one. Stags to feed Niagara.
Just gives him some more outside shooting. Still
Cohen off balance. That one off the floor. Jeremy White sees him in.
Need that steering wheel. And the breaks in transition.
Colombo had a big three-pointer against Manhattan. They had 5 threes to get back into a game that they looked like they were out of last night and somehow won it. 62-60 when a shot went in and out again. At the buzzer, Shane Miller off balance.
That's 2 for Jermaine Young.
Once again, Fairfield gets a good shot.
Niagara fouls against number 32, Hassan Abdullah. That's his first personal team foul.
Disbelief, and we can understand why. 24-7. His team
Number 12, Jeremiah
7:50
Johnson, and number
remaining in the first
44,
half.
Kevin Jobity, return to the
So I
lineup.
think right now Niagara has to try to do some
For
things
Niagara,
differently on defense, create some
with 7
opportunities.
minutes and 50 seconds remaining.
We'll be back. Fairfield has opened up a big 17-point lead.
St. Peter's College, the Jesuit College of New Jersey, believes a student should develop as a whole person. We educate our students through a demanding curriculum informed by values. With more than 3,400 students born in 65 countries, St. Peter's is one of the most international and interesting colleges in the country. As a charter member of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, we are committed to excellence in athletics and integrity in academics. St. Peter's College, the Jesuit College of New Jersey.
This copyrighted telecast of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference and Host Communications may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the MAAC and host. Well, Niagara's been held to 7 points in the opening 12 minutes and 10 seconds. Last time that kind of offense was produced was 1909 and lost to Seton Hall. The final that was, by the way, 37-16.
That's a peach basket.
Just the strings on the basketball.
Yeah, peach basket.
Not in the laces. Shane Miller. Rebound Niagara. That's a start. Hit the ball. Put it in the basket. He's doing a stretch. Greg Francis has 12, Niagara has 7, so Francis leading the Purple Eagles by 5. 7:15 remaining in the first half. Canisius upset the #1 seed Iona earlier tonight by 1. The ball movement, Shane Miller. Rebound Niagara.
In the hands of players that play to formation that we have not seen so far from Niagara.
Virginia Colombo has scored the 9th point for Niagara. 6.5 minutes remaining. They go over the top of the defense. They do that well. Greg Francis, who had been quiet after four early threes, set the tempo of this game.
Jack Armstrong's off to make a change defensively. Greg Francis.
Personal foul.
When asked following the victory by Fairfield over St. Peter's last night about
Shannon Bowman had his second personal foul.
Shannon Bowman said, "We don't look at that anymore. We just focus with one hard every night on the run."
Solid answer. Nothing fancy. No Dijon mustard.
Jeff O'Connor will shoot the bonus now. Fairfield with 17 fouls.
Bishop Gas adds some composure and savvy to the Fairfield team. Doesn't put up a lot of points. Could make the three. Here's the motion offense.
Sean Clark, game with Greg Francis. Zane Miller, laser cone, he's got to shoot it. Misha Gaddis. 22nd timeout called by the Stags and Jack Armstrong.
He thought he stepped in before the timeout.
I think you have to have your feet on the floor to call these timeouts. I'm just amazed at how often this happens. Oops. Well, Niagara plays great defense. They force a turnover, and he calls a timeout in midair. Shouldn't be allowed.
Jack might have had a point. His foot might have hit the ground before he called timeout.
You know it's coming off one, okay? 20 on the D here, all right? You start touching play. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Fucking me. Let's go.
Done a good job of graduating as seniors. All 16 have gone on and graduated. And there's the MAAC Coach of the Year this year. Back in 93-94, Armstrong had the great year, and Paul Cormier. Normally when you win that award, it's an overachiever type award. And I think that's what he has done this year with his team.
I agree with that. I don't think the Fairfield team is overly athletic. Just a bunch of guys that know how to run an offense. Niagara on a little bit of a spurt.
Needs more. It's a 4-0 and laser call is called for a foul. So 2 on him. He's going to sit down.
That is totally uncalled for by Kevin Jordan. Absolutely uncalled for. Shouldn't happen. Lost his cool.
Get over here! Chris, get over here!
And some blood drawn, it looks like. Laser Cohen as he went down hard.
No need, Mike. No need. Watch this. Man.
Well, he asked for it.
Cohen went at him
He
first.
asked for it and he got it.
I didn't see
what
that.
the officials are going to do.
I didn't see that.
But I would say both should go. In my humble opinion, Cohen asked for it. He got it.
Cohen comes at him.
And he hit him first.
He hit him first. Absolutely.
And now a little discussion going on between the two coaches and the three officials. Kevin Jobity standing by with his coach.
Good camera work by our guys in the truck, catching the first blow by Cohen.
Mike Kitts, Paul Cormier, Laser Cohen, still sideline.
No need for that, Mike. Either way, Fairfield or Niagara, there's no need to do that type of stuff. Just play. Gets you nowhere. Stops the momentum of the game. Stops any runs.
Cohen is up now and is headed toward the bench.
I don't like to see that stuff.
And Jobity is headed for the locker room. See if Cohen is headed to the locker room. He's definitely going to be headed to the locker room at some point to be intended to, but it's like Jobity has been ejected.
Nobody wins when stuff like that happens.
Brent Beamer is going to check in and substitute. Cohen is headed to the locker room, and he'll be attended to by the Fairfield trainer. 4:53 remaining here in the first half of our second MAAC semifinal. Kevin Jobity has been ejected for his headbutt.
Unsportsmanlike technical whistled against Laser Cohen, number 50. And a flagrant technical foul whistled against number 44 of Niagara, Kevin Jobity. He has been ejected from the game.
So now the pressure on Alcorana, and the freshman will have to reverse Laser Cohen. Chance. So the officials saw it all and they made their call. You know, so often when things like that happen, it's the second man who gets caught, not the first. In this case, the both of us didn't see the first one. So now a different Engelton standard. Tiki Colombo has a couple of free throws and he talks to Paul Cormier. There's Mike Kitts. The second. 26-13, mark it down, Laser Cohen, 4:53 left, and the first half is gone. So is Kevin Jobity.
John Armstrong's on the sideline shaking his head saying, you know, all this did was slow the game down. They got a little bit of a run. Fairfield playing good. These players don't want to have this stop in action. Just kind of gets them cold and start to think about things.
Commodore with 1 of 2.
It is Niagara ball.
And Niagara has the ball.
Number 42, Mike Grant into the lineup for Fairfield. Number 22, Brent Beamer returns for Niagara.
Cohen was called for a flagrant foul. He might not be tossed out, Mike. We got to check on that.
And a rebound by Cohen. At that time.
Fairfield foul number 44, Sean Clark. That's his second.
Laser Cohen has been sent to the locker room.
Team foul number 9 against the Stags. Number 4, Jermaine Young checks in for Niagara.
Lacerated lip.
As number 21, Chris Watson shoots 2.
Hopes to return. We get the report from the officers working the area.
Tell them about that, Mike.
I think that's a surprise.
I think if you instigate, if you start, you throw, so let it go. You're just as responsible as the guy who tell you, where you go.
Offensive foul was whistled against number 42, Mike Moran. That's his first. And with 3 minutes 52 seconds.
If you are in high school and you want to play sports at an NCAA Division I or II school, you must be certified by the NCAA Initial Eligibility Clearinghouse. Ask your coach or guidance counselor for one of these student release forms. Fill it out and send it to the clearinghouse. Remember, if you're not certified, you can't compete as a freshman in NCAA Division I or II. For more information, call area code 319-337-1492.
Before the technical fouls, the double technical happen, you see what's going on inside. Little elbow inside by Cohen. Jobity talking about it. Looked like he hurt his hand, and they started arguing and jowling at each other at that point.
Fans Callahan Industries is proud to be a sponsor of
the Capital District for Business Pleasure of the MAAC Tour. Want to stay at the full-service Omni Hotel, the Omni, a block away from the Knickerbocker in downtown Albany. That's the phone number for reservations. We just talked to one of the officials, Domingo, who explained the double technical situation. One was flagrant, which allowed Niagara the extra 2 free throws. However, the ejection to Jobity and not to Laser Cohen. So that, I'm still perplexed by it.
Yeah, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. As far as I'm concerned.
Work in the trenches, and the ball is still in Niagara's possession. John Cahill, one of the three officials, made the call on the ejections and the technicals.
Fairfield foul, number 23, Kyle Commodore.
That's the first half.
That's the other thing.
That's his second personal foul. Number 14, Michel Gaddis, returns to the Fairfield
situation like we just saw.
as Jeremiah Johnson steps to the line for 2 shots.
That stopper's down.
Jeremiah Johnson's on the board with his first point. Freshman from Camden, Virginia. Northern Virginia. Has them both. 9-16. This is the closest the Niagara's been in a while. They've fallen down by as much as 20. That's the view we're getting from the broadcast area at half-court.
Notice the spacing from Fairfield. Each player stands 6 to 8 feet away from each other, makes cuts, keeps it nice and loose.
Watson steps in on the run, kicking out around Sean Clark, but it ends up over the baseline.
That's good hustle by Watson. Very quick laterally, gets up and down the floor, fast. Cormier concerned a little bit now about tempo.
Fairfield is slowed down to a crawl at this point. Niagara's crawling back in. Watson on the move, but the rebound goes up, and again, Niagara going along. So Anderson's a lazy Cohen, and Shannon Bowman has got 2 fouls. That's hurt Fairfield here in the last few minutes.
What's happening now is Niagara has a lineup of 3 guys that can post you up. Colombo, Watson, and Young. And if one guy misses, the other 3 crash. Look at Young and Watson under the boards right now. Just battling in. Moran out of position. Didn't box.
St. Mary taking a seat. He got off to a strong start with 7 points, but he's been quiet for the last 8 to 10 minutes. And here come the Purple Eagles. Dead and buried 5 minutes ago. They're back within 12. For Jermaine Young and Fairfield, Sean Clark has the rebound.
Niagara makes a few foul shots. They're back in this game right now.
Francis was on fire to start the game. He's quieted down as well as 14 to lead the way.
Everything seemed to have stopped after that terrible.
Sean Clark spinning. Shot goes in. First basket for Sean Clark. Three seniors, all juniors, lost it. As he went down, and a foul is called. Watson's going to be a two-shot foul.
It should be. Watson determined. Just kind of put his head down, Mike, and said, whoever is in my way is going up to the basket with me. Clark just kind of sitting up there waiting for him.
Good call by the officials in traffic. We had a disturbance behind the baseline. Behind Joe.
Looks like they're tossing one of the fans out. Some unruly conduct.
Chris Watson's hit his last 5 free throws. Now he has 7. Just hung in there.
Down by just 12.
What direction the team is going to make after play stops and emotions start to flare. But I thought Niagara executed nicely on the half court.
Number 3, Jay
got
Miller.
The ball to Watson, sealing down low. Watson got hammered, no call.
Jermaine Young, sophomore from Washington, in front of the rim. Niagara's free throw shooting. Leaving something to be desired. They've had 4 field goals in the first half. 4 2-pointers. The rest have been from the line. 11 free throws. That's where it's going to stay. 6 misses. So
Watson trying to take Fairfield out of their offense, denying that pass that goes up to the top, doing a nice job. A little maintenance work down there. Letting Niagara back in These turnovers came from offensive execution, which is unusual for Fairfield. A team that likes to take care of the ball. It's a delicacy.
Sean Clark is called for a foul.
Fairfield foul. Number 24, Sean Clark. That is his 3rd personal foul.
3 on Sean Clark. So foul troubles, injury troubles.
Number 45.
And Fairfield has certainly got a basketball game.
Isolation up top. As soon as Watson caught the ball, Clark bumped him. I thought that was a good call.
And stoppage as Watson was shooting a free throw. Fairfield, just 5 by Niagara, and the lead is now 9 points.
Creeping
Watson. Sean Clark has to sit down. Shannon Bowman's been out most of the first half. He had 2 personals.
Shannon Bowman having a quiet first half, unlike him.
8 points deficit. And another whistle.
See, right now the game is a little out of control in the way of too many fouls happening too quickly every time down the floor. As soon as someone comes over half court, there's a foul. So quite the opposite the last game, which was a total clean game, playing defense with their legs, not reaching.
Watson is missing. So, reestablishing control of the game, the officials.
See, I think right now, Mike, the players are confused.
Maybe that fan is confused. Well, these guys are not confused. These guys know exactly what's going on.
They know the deal, but right now the players are trying to find out what they can do, what they can't do, what they can get away with, and what they can in the way of playing good straight-up defense and stopping the game too much.
Now 7 fouls on Niagara, so it'll be 1-1. Shannon Bowman as the first.
Seems like both teams now are searching for some continuity on offense.
That's Bowman's first point.
4 or 5 guys touching the basketball without a foul. We just haven't seen that.
There is some aggressive play. That
is the end of the first half with the score.
Fairfield, after leading by 20, has a 9-point lead. We'll be back with more from the Knickerbocker Arena here in the Marine Midlands semifinals of the MAAC tournament.
Back at the Knickerbocker Arena in Albany, the Marine Midland MAAC semifinals. And right now, Fairfield holding a 32-23 lead. Fairfield Stags led by 20 in this game. And right now, Niagara, based on their free throw shooting, clutching and scratching their way back into this game in a foul-filled game. Should be an interesting second half. And right now, let's go to my colleagues Mike Crispino and Glenn Consor.
Thanks very much, Barry. And as you mentioned, a 20-point lead for Fairfield. They threatened to blow it out 23-3, but since then, Niagara has come back and outscored Fairfield 20-9. We had an incident there, if you were just joining us, in which Laser Cohen was ejected for the headbutt. Well, actually was not ejected. Kevin Jobody of Niagara was ejected for the return headbutt, if you're keeping score of headbutts.
That's absolutely true. And that really stopped the action, really disrupted both teams. But what's happened is Niagara is starting to establish some points in the paint, guys crashing the offensive rebounds, and that's been their game all year. I think if Niagara's going to make this a game, they're going to have to start hitting some shots from the outside. That's going to be the key.
Well, they certainly have made it a game now. Chris Watson had 12 points in the first half, and coming off their upset win, to get to this point when Watson only had 9, that has to be a good sign for Jack Armstrong. What I'm wondering is, what do you think they're saying now in both those locker rooms? Is it going to be don't touch anybody in the second half?
I think the players are a little bit confused now of what you can do. When you're a player, normally you can get a feel of how the officiating is going. I think right now they're a little confused. I think the officials are doing a good job of keeping the game tight, but lots of fouls have been called. I think they just got to go out and play. Niagara's got to try to get the ball in the paint, try to get into their transition game, and Fairfield has to take care of the basketball. Very uncharacteristic amount of turnovers for Fairfield.
They were certainly disrupted by the incident in which Laser Cohen, their center, suffered a lacerated lip. Fairfield has said they hope he will return. We don't know. We'll have more. We'll come back. At halftime here at the Knickerbocker Arena in Albany, New York, the MAAC semifinals continue on the MAAC Television Network. #2 seed in the tournament with a 32-23 lead at halftime after a huge open for them. Niagara's back in it. We'll have the second half in moments, but first let's go to Barry Landers with a special halftime guest.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. And I'm joined by Gerald Jennings, the mayor of Albany. And I know you're watching very closely. You've got a close friend, Tony Masiello, the mayor of Buffalo, is probably watching. And what are your thoughts for Tony right now?
Well, Tony, I'm glad you're up there, but I wish you were down here showing some support for this tournament. Take it easy on us, Tony.
Well, of course, earlier tonight, Canisius advanced. Tony's a Canisius graduate. And right now, Niagara hanging tough. Good comeback, wasn't it, Gerald?
Yeah, just like last night. Niagara's a gutsy team, and, you know, it could be an all-Western part of the state final.
All right, Gerald Jennings, you played football at Albany State, also a good sportsman. You love basketball. And, of course, Albany has been very supportive of not only the tournament, but certainly events here in the Knickerbocker Arena.
Right, and this arena is a great arena for the fans, and we've had a lot of comments when we had the NCAAs in here last year. We're looking forward to possibly an NIT game here next week. You know, it's exciting, and we do have a lot of fan support. There's so much going on. March Madness is upon us, and we're looking for fan support all the time.
I know your buddy over in Buffalo, Tony Masiello, is trying to get the tournament to move over there, rotate a little bit. What are your thoughts about the area supporting the tournament and what Albany and the MAAC mean together?
The MAAC means a lot to Albany, like it would any community, and we've worked hard to make sure that it's comfortable and a productive tournament for all the participants. And we're a central location versus Buffalo. Nothing personal, Tony, but I got to sell this city. It's the capital city of New York, easily accessible, and, you know, we're looking forward to hopefully hosting this tournament in all future years.
Now, this is really a hotbed of sports. I know you've hosted the NCAA hockey here at the Knickerbocker. There's some professional, some amateur sports, and sports interest is growing in this community.
It really is. You know, we have a hockey, semi-pro hockey team, well, the Albany River Rats. They draw 11, 12, 13,000 a game. I mean, it's a professional hockey team. It's just not the top. But we, you know, there's a lot of fan support. The Albany Firebirds come in here, 14,000, 15,000 people. There is a broad base of fan support here.
Mayor Gerald Jennings has been my guest. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
We'll be back with more stats and highlights upcoming. You're watching the MAAC Television Network.
Welcome to Loyola College in Maryland. Here at Loyola, we seek to educate the whole person, mind, body, and spirit.
Loyola believes in excellence, academic excellence, and athletic excellence. At Loyola, it takes more than just being an athlete to make it.
I think the athletics makes you more focused on your academics.
And so here at Loyola, I find a good balance between athletics and academics.
I think I've learned a lot from playing lacrosse. You prioritize your work. You feel good about yourself.
I'm taking away from that the feeling that you can accomplish things.
Walking through campus, I mean, obviously parents are happy if they have one daughter or son here. People get to know you. Next year, a freshman comes in from the same family.
Students come to Loyola because they want the skills that will help them make a good living. We give them the skills that will help them to make a good life.
By Niagara to just 2 by Fairfield. Stags fans hoping that Fairfield will go to the final. We'll find out when we return on the MAAC Television Network.
just like I taught you. I want you to open the cooler, and I want you to get me an ice-cold Pepsi. Come on, boy. You can do it. Good boy, good boy. Maybe later we'll play Frisbee.
Hey, big boy. You got another one of those for me?
Oh.
Je t'aime.
I love this dream.
St. Peter's College, the Jesuit College of New Jersey, believes a student should develop as a whole person. We educate our students through a demanding curriculum informed by values. With more than 3,400 students born in 65 countries, St. Peter's is one of the most international and interesting colleges in the country. As a charter member of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, we are committed to excellence in athletics and integrity in academics. St. Peter's College, the Jesuit College of New Jersey.
So Chris Watson, who has been all everything for Niagara, responsible for getting them back in the game. Here's Laser Cohen, lacerated lip, sent to the locker room after a headbutt, and we did get a further explanation from John Cahill on the double technicals. He thought that the headbutt by Jobody was flagrant, and I guess did not think that Laser Cohen's first headbutt was flagrant. Now, to me, a headbutt is flagrant. Even Coco Brazil was doing. Bobo Brazil. Bobo, I'm sorry. My mistake. Oh, yeah. Minor slippage, memory slippage. It's okay. So that's the explanation for Laser Cohen still being around, and Kevin Jobody watching the game in the locker room.
So now with Cohen back in the lineup, it gives Fairfield another player that they could look to go down low to get victories. Coleman shooting a three-point shot. We saw that all-star here in the tournament when Coleman made some threes. All of a sudden, becoming a three-point shot artist. He's taken like 3 all season.
Francis takes a off-balance three-pointer. On the run. Connor can't get the shot off. Watson. It's been 3 years in the Army. Congressman gets a big advantage at this level to have a player the next 18, 19, 20 years.
The Fairfield personal foul whistled against number 50, Laser Cohen. That is his 4th personal foul. The first team foul of the half against the Stag.
In the second half, at least, he's going to have to sit down for some minutes.
I still think that Niagara has to try to get Beaver involved in the offense. And not be so predictable to get it down low to Watson every time. Mix it up.
Traffic.
Niagara trails by 7.
Slowly but surely, Niagara chipping away.
Hasn't been this close since they queued up.
Shook him out of his shoes. Left some skin marks on the floor.
That's the kind you run back at the court and ask the defender, what happened? Greg Francis. He's got 16.
Strange tempo in this game, Mike. No team really able to establish some type of offensive flow.
Does that mean we're going to see the tempo arrow for the second time today? Signature tempo arrow.
Right now that arrow is pointing up in the air.
Number 10, Jeff O'Connor, commits his second personal foul.
An advantage.
Team foul number 2.
Because they're executing. But Niagara's coming back. If Niagara can get back in this game, they're going to do it with defense.
Well, they played to 7 on a couple of occasions in the second half. Francis again. Almost a shot put style on that three-pointer.
He puts it up on his shoulder and talks there and get cautious.
He has not been able to regain the touch that he started the game with. Strong power move on offensive foul call. Jermaine Young. Good defensive move by Mike Moran. There's timeout on the corner. We'll be back. Niagara down by 9 in the second of our MAAC semifinals here in Albany.
Hi, I hope you're enjoying the game. My name is Chris McGinnis, and from 1981 to 1985, I was a student at Fairfield and a member of the women's basketball team.
Mike Crispino and Glenn Consor along with you here in Albany, New York, the Knickerbocker Arena. The one half of the final is set as Canisius upset the #1 seed Iona earlier tonight. Niagara trying to knock off the league co-champion Fairfield, who is seeded #2 coming in. Fairfield with a huge lead. Paul Cormier now must be concerned because it just looks like the rhythm of the Fairfield team was disrupted by the first half incident in which Kevin Joby of Niagara was ejected. Laser Cole, who was part of that altercation, returned, but just for moments here in the second half before he got his fourth foul. So that little fiasco kind of cancels itself out.
Winding you down deep into the 35-second clock. Niagara playing good, solid defense. So if you take that step back defensively when you're guarding Fairfield players who are on the perimeter, you let them swing the ball around. And you also force them to shoot the outside shot. And I think Jack Armstrong has to make a decision. I'd like to see him pull the play, the reversal pass, force him to go back to it.
5 on the shot clock. Francis gets the block, but can't find the rim. Shot was deflected, but there was contact.
Now transition defense becoming an issue for the Stags. Not matching up quick enough. You know, it used to be in transition defense, you'd have to pick guys up, run back to the paint, and then find a guy and match. Now with the three-point line, you got to match up outside the three-point line, pick up much earlier.
I was going to say that your career average would be substantially higher had you been involved in the three-point era, but of course, they really can after that
The Niagara personal foul whistled against number 45, Barlow. His first personal.
So you can't trail those guys flashing to the block. You got to beat them to the spot. If you're late, you're going to pick up fouls or get burned. Yeah,
Mike Moran, with the weight of the Fairfield interior offense and defense really on his shoulders. Let's go, let's go.
Number 44, Sean Clark, returns to the lineup for Fairfield. A 20-second timeout called.
20-second timeout's been called by Fairfield as they gather around Paul Cormier.
Number 5, Jeremy Floyd, returns to the Niagara University lineup.
Johnson couldn't get to it, so Miller exploits it.
Look for money-saving coupons in your NYX Yellow Pages. Save on anything from beauty supplies to restaurants. NYX Yellow Pages. More information, more solutions, more stuff.
Fairfield overall at respectable 41%. Niagara at a disappointing 24%. Just 8 field goals on the night.
Very tough to keep or maintain or establish a lead.
Jeremy Fife, wearing number 5, is into the game. He'll run the point for Jack Armstrong. 14 minutes and change. Steal. The fan will be called for a driving violation. Trying to put him in his back. A little too much. Lost it that time.
Bijan. Spicy. Make the
works out the pretzels here at the Knickerbocker Arena.
Whistled against number 45, Akbar Wahid. That is his second personal. Team foul number 5.
Jack Armstrong.
Number 32, Hassan Abdullah, returns to the Niagara lineup.
Mike, you know, three-quarter steps, three-quarter position, short chopping steps, getting around the low post, picking up the foul.
6-7.
different personnel and arsenal of Niagara, very limited just to really the inside game of Watson and Colombo and Abdullah.
That is his first. It puts Niagara over the limit with 17 fouls.
Here's the look.
Number 23,
Didn't see much
for Fairfield.
body there. Didn't see much hand checking. Let's put
guard from St. Joe's and Bridgeport. She will arrive at Fairfield. Johnny Jones.
All freshman team.
Trying to go over the top to Watson. It's loose. Greg Francis running up left wing. Bowman trying to establish a position. Can't do it. Now he does it. There's the catch. Bowman missed the shot. Well missed it. And the tip goes down.
Too easy. Niagara's going to have to do a better job of perimeter pressure out top. Don't let the guards look.
Grab the ball! No one had the ball! Someone's gonna have it!
Number 23, Kyle Commodore, picks up the personal foul. That's his third.
We have a timeout on the court.
Fairfield. And 11 minutes, 32 seconds remaining in the second half.
If you are in high school and you want to play sports at an NCAA Division I or II school, you must be certified by the NCAA Initial Eligibility Clearinghouse. Ask your coach or guidance counselor for one of these student release forms. Fill it out and send it to the clearinghouse. Remember, if you're not certified, you can't compete as a freshman in NCAA Division I or II. For more information, call area code 319-337-1492.
We're back at the Knickerbocker Arena, and there's a stand running wild. And running short. Fairfield leads at 47-35. Marine Midland Bank is proud to sponsor the Marine Midland Family Section. Tickets and programs for today's game were provided by the Marine Midland Bank, banking for the real world. The Stags still running wild. He gets busy, and there's a member of the family section, a real member.
That little guy's not worried about fouls.
He's not. Not worried about much except his next meal, I would think. There, the shooting percentage really have turned around. 17% for Niagara, 63 in the second half, yet they trail by 12. Niagara's only able to get 8 shots off in the second half. The opening 9 minutes. It's been one and done.
Niagara personal foul number 10, Jeff O'Connor, his third personal foul. He's on this play against the Eagles.
Greg Francis shaken up as he hit the basket.
That puts number 12, Greg Francis, at the foul strike for the
Tries to
Stags.
compose himself. Francis hit a big game-winning shot against Iona last year in the MAAC tournament. Speaking of Iona, they finally got their first win for the senior class in this tournament against Siena, and then they're beaten in the second game. So they have not had a lot of good fortune here in the last 4 years.
It's been a tough place to play for them. Seniors, Darwin, Larson. It would be nice to get those guys to the final game at least.
Jack Armstrong, Niagara's coach, talked about the fact that most teams want to get to Monday. He was just trying to get to Saturday. And he's done it. Now they're trying to take the next step. His team is dropped down by 14. No one hot ball. 2 thoughts. Goes up, missed the shot. Short, that really elevates
Guys like Bowman, Miller, Francis, Commodore. But a guy like Clark coming off the bench is so important. Adds a different dimension. He got a lot of shots, plays good inside defense.
Jeremiah Johnson. Alex inside. Has the rebound, and he just powered his way through smart. Clark lays up right near us at half court.
10 guys on that offensive rebound. And he just dug in. Keep your eye on Watson as he gathers himself. Just goes up strong with his lower part of his body and just clears out the whole lane. That's how you draw a foul.
Well, that was his intention, and he accomplished it. Didier Boucard will check in. Shane Miller will sit down. Miller leads with 11. Greg Francis has 18. Shannon Bowman's been quiet, just 5 for him. And here's Chris Watson, who leads everybody with 20.
One coming at you.
Form of Glenn Consor. Maybe Shaquille O'Neal should take a look at this.
Jack Armstrong talking about has been listening to me. I was really kind of kidding him about his form. He shoots from his far now. But he's really working on actually commending him after the last game on how much he's improved his free throw shooting from last year.
This ball is intercepted and it's loose. Francis has it back. There's only 8 seconds on the shot clock to get it. This is a 3, track down, with the takedown of Kyle Commodore.
3rd and 10.
It's been a difficult night for Jeff O'Connor, the sophomore from Syracuse. And then not only has he held to 3 points, he's going to have a bruised face afterwards. 4 personals on him.
See, now with 9 minutes and 28 seconds left, Jack Armstrong has to try to figure out a way to disrupt the Fairfield offense, get some more possessions back and some opportunities in transition. Get the ball inside the Watson. Maybe play some 1-3-1 zone, some 3-2 zone, 3-quarter. Lots of things to do.
Niagara had cut it down to 7 here in the second half.
You have to rotate.
Well, I don't know. Is that a shot or not? You don't want to throw a shot. It was caught by Jermaine Young and Drew
Keep your eye on the basket. Here's a little push by Haran. Watson.
No basket. Offensive against Niagara's number 12, Jeremiah Johnson.
The job Jeremiah Johnson did last night on the boards against Manhattan. Johnson out of control. That's a foul. We call by the official. Going straight, Jeremiah. No need to leave.
Frank Frascella bringing it out in his post-game press conference that he thought Jeremiah Johnson should be a member of the all-rookie team the way he played. Francis. Greg Francis. We'll be back. The Marine Midland MAAC semifinals continue on the MAAC Television Network. Let's take a look at the New York Lotteries. Hey, you never know, play of the game. If you like offense, you'll like this.
And you also have to like recognizing where the shooters are. Commodore looked right, saw Miller left, nailed it.
Get the man the ball where he likes to shoot it. That's what Kyle Commodore did. Once again, that's today's New York Lottery's Hey, You Never Know play of the game. The New York Lottery again presents a $1,000 scholarship to the senior men's or women's MAAC basketball player. The highest GPA for use in his or her graduate studies. New York Lottery supporting education since 1967. Fairfield late run here, 13-3 in the last 5+. Brett Beaver is shotless. Gone off target. This Watson, who's been a monster tonight, has the rebound.
Wings, Beaver's out too high. You've got to send some guys low.
Jeremiah Johnson. We got a push here. This is the shot. Out comes
Number 22, Brett Beaver, that's his third personal foul. Number 25, DDA Buchanan, for Fairfield, 2 shots.
Quicker than that to take the charge.
If there's any question about the amount of contact in the game of basketball,
That's the whole game.
that's my job. That's what I do. Didier Boucard misses the first of 2. Canisius has made the finals. Should Fairfield hold on here to win and finally advance? That should be an interesting matchup because both teams are playing very well. I think maybe those two teams are playing the best of the 8 teams. Manhattan, of course, derailed because of personnel shortages. Watson inside.
Watson winning down.
23 for Chris Watson, the junior from White Plains, New York.
So right now they cannot afford to just trade baskets with Fairfield. Like they got to mix it up a little bit, try to get some turnovers, do it with defense, move extremely athletic freshman is Boucard.
Number 22, Brett Beaver.
He's going to be a good one, Mike.
No doubt about it. He's a versatile player. Brett Beaver's 4th.
He's one of these guys that just likes to find the seams and crash the glass. Gets himself in.
And when asked what he does on his off time, he reads classical French literature. Now I know you can appreciate that.
We had a long discussion about French literature after the last game. And
in French, I would
in
imagine.
French, totally in French.
Oh, you are multilingual.
Parlez-vous Francis?
Right, you've got English.
Mercy buckets.
You've got the King's English. And I believe you also speak English. Jeremiah Johnson. Didier Boucard. According to Akbar Wahid, you try, retry.
Number 42, Mike Moran, that's his third personal foul.
Paul Cormier has called his team over, and I believe he's pointing at the scoreboard saying, I don't care what the score is, with 7:05 remaining. If we let them get 3 shots at it, how am I doing? Is that
It's pretty good.
It's pretty accurate paraphrasing of what he's saying?
You're doing a great job. Akbar working the offensive glass. Lots of offensive rebounds by Niagara. But with the exception maybe of Watson, not too many finishes inside.
You know, for Fairfield, I think winning this tournament is imperative. There was some discussion prior to this game. Should they lose, would they get an NIT bid? You could look at it either way. So I think if they want to play in the postseason, they need to win tonight, and then they need to beat Canisius tomorrow and then, of course, they'd be assured of an NCAA bid. There's no guarantees for a team like Fairfield with 19-9, let's say, should they lose, of a postseason.
I agree. I think, this is an important tournament for them to win. To take it to the next level, take it to the big dance. Right now, they're the type of team that, a lot of people say they look ugly or they beat you ugly, but I don't think so. I think they play nice basketball, they run a beautiful offense, they show great patience. As a coach, it is not easy to teach patience to young players so many times. That's why a lot of coaches like to play transition games. It's easy to teach.
Well, they're not selfish bunch. Who gets a piece of the ball? There's never a question as to who should have it. The player who's in best position to score normally gets it. That's the way you play the game.
Number 3, Shane Miller returns to the lineup for Fairfield. Kyle
Armstrong, I believe, making some defensive adjustments.
See, I think he's got to mix it up. Change some things out there, Jack. Get him playing some zone defense. Get him playing some full court pressure, three-quarter court pressure. Get some deflections, cause some Niagara strike. 6:15 on the clock.
Intercepting, it's Shannon Bowman who took a shot to the face, and a foul is called on Akbar Waheed. Freshman from Washington, D.C.
Number 45, Akbar Waheed. That is his 3rd personal foul.
Waheed going after the loose ball just takes a little bit of Shannon Bowman's face with him.
Number 35, Shannon Bowman goes to the foul line for the stand.
It's the 10-10 foul on Niagara. Total of 43 fouls.
He should be playing in Hatchet City rather than in Albany.
Shannon Bowman from Dorchester, Massachusetts. Beaver Country
Bay. 35. Hey, look what?
Number 35, Shannon Bowman of Fairfield picks up his 3rd personal foul. That's team foul number 7.
Shannon Bowman.
Guys.
Well, Niagara came in with a 13-14 record. Certainly the underdogs. Fairfield's been enjoying their best year in a decade, 19-8. So it would have been a long shot for Niagara to win this game. It's a 16-point deficit in 6 minutes. It should have been insurmountable, but Niagara has not shown the kind of offense necessary. Of course, you got to take the ball away defensively. They're able to have it enough times offensively to score, and not done that as well either.
That shot clock goes down to 10. They don't panic. They show patience. Lots of teams rush and try to go one-on-one. These guys, the 4 guys that don't have the basketball, they have open spots.
That's something that Paul said after the game over St. Peter's, that his kids continue to lose their composure, and that it's an infectious attitude. That really is demonstrated by it's still very plausible for Niagara to pull the upset.
Niagara's number 45, Akbar Waheed, picks up personal foul number 4.
Inside on Abdullah.
Number 5, Jeremy White checks into the lineup for Niagara. Number 24, Sean Clark.
Takes a seat. Shane Miller, at times, was out for 9 games last year with a back injury. The sophomore from Bloomfield, Indiana, where he was one of the most prolific scorers.
6 for 8 for 3 against Loyola earlier this season. 28 points. Leading field goal. Shot was in the nation. Set 5th
Leads this conference in free throw shooting. Sean Clark runs it down and leads it back to 17. Seems to be able to make these plays. Not spectacular, but he's in the right place at the right time again. He has a rebound. You can see the screener give it away. Miller drains it. He's given Fairfield a 20-point lead with 4 minutes remaining, 3:55 to be exact. There's a timeout on the court now, and a deep hole will return on the MAAC television network. Back at the Niagara Arena, Mike Crispino along with Glenn Console. Glad you can be with us. The second half of our doubleheader semifinals of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. Fairfield has pulled away 65-45. They had their lead cut into about 7 points. 7 points to be exact on a couple of occasions. However, Niagara has stagnated offensively, haven't been able to fill it up enough. And Fairfield is pulled away, and now looks like they're on the verge of going to the finals tomorrow against Canisius.
A very deliberate team. Sleep on offense, make you play their way, their speed. And when they're making their outside shots, they become very dangerous. We really haven't seen that much of Shannon Bowman in the blocks. And they're still coming away by 20. Statistic is 116.
They had made 5 in the upset last night over Manhattan, but they were all key three-pointers. It doesn't sound like a lot, but in that game they were trailing, and it looked as if they were going to be blown out, as it did tonight. However, they made 3-point field goals from unexpected sources, and that helped turn them around.
At critical times of the game, they put them right back into the game. They lose the lead, get the 3 to tie the game. 2, maybe 3 goals, 1. Timing's up.
Number 4 remains. 3 enter. Niagara lineup.
Tossing that ball down, let us spread them out.
36 rebounds for Fairfield.
They just dominated the board. That's that a little deceiving to me if you watch this game.
The latest says Fairfield has 36 to 15.
Dennis Rodman glides was on his toes.
You first look at him and you say, well, he's not much of an athlete, but that's not true if you watch him play the game. Tiki Colombo answers. Ricard has got a funny gait to his running style.
On his toes. That's what makes him a good offensive rebounder. He's quick to the glass because he's on his toes.
Tried to go down low to Sean Clark.
So you didn't throw that pass from outside. Might be a little hook on spinning.
Number 34, Aaron Seymour, and number 21,
substitutions. Shane Miller will sit down.
For Niagara.
16 points for him.
John Gubler checks in.
Shannon Bowman did not score much at 6, as you see. Jermaine Young going to the bench. He had 3 in the first half. But Bowman is a presence no matter what.
Stand in that zone. Actually, it's a man.
Not getting the roll. That's been the story all night long for Niagara. Joaquin's shot went in and out again. So for Niagara, the final moments of a career for Tiki Colombo. really the only senior who has played tonight for Niagara. Patrick McNamara, the freshman from College Point, New York, has checked in for Niagara. He's wearing number 33. John Dubler, the other senior on the Niagara club, is wearing number 42. He has stepped into the game for Jack Armstrong in the final 2 minutes and change. Well, some wishful thinking. I believe you're still in debt for your college education. At least that's what I've been told.
I think my dad believes that. Never believed I'd get a scholarship. He still thinks he's going to get a bill.
Well, the good news is no bills coming. For Fairfield, Brandon Jubry is entered, the sophomore, on the ball, 6'3". Ducard and Rick Francis has gone to the bench. Valens Bruno wearing number 22 for Fairfield. So Fairfield and Canisius in the final tomorrow.
Number 55, Peter Van Rye.
Sean Tuck, the senior, will go to the bench. 6 points for him and numerous rebounds.
You know, Mike, you look at this Niagara team, and it's a team playing without Ronell Felton, who was one of those combo guards that could light it up. Missing component, only a sophomore. Fife's only a sophomore. Young's a sophomore. Watson a junior. Beamer a sophomore. They have Calvin Murphy Jr. coming to Niagara next year who could light it up as well. So this team is one of the top incoming teams, I think, in the conference. Big win against Manhattan.
Jubry has the ball and he'll work the offense. Ronell Felton out with mononucleosis. .68-47. So in the championship game, Canisius and Fairfield. That was loose. Soccer game breaks out momentarily. Could be a toss-up, I think. Canisius going well, even without Darryl Barley. And now, entering the game as you look at Jack Armstrong.
For Fairfield, number 24, Chris Quinn.
When you think about some of the teams that have lost in the conference, like Manhattan College, hope they get a postseason bid to the NIT. I think they deserve it as well. Teams like Iona, I think, need to go to the postseason. Teams that played good basketball this year, had some big non-conference wins. Iona beating St. John's and Rhode Island. Manhattan knocking off Notre Dame, taking St. John's to the wire.
Rutgers,
who
became an improved team. Bob Leach's job.
So Fran Priscilla to the Welsh, I think.
Well, Fran Priscilla in the first game press conference early this morning was campaigning for postseason bid. And that might be a tough ball, although we all know the NIT likes to have local flavor. So local flavor team to the local flavor. Here the leading scores. So Manhattan and Iona, which have been eliminated, will be thinking about the NIT in the next few days. And that should do it. Fairfield has defeated Niagara 70-47. Paul Cormier will go to the final and he'll play against Canisius. 70-47 was the final here tonight at the Knickerbocker Arena. Paul Cormier and the Stags advance. The Golden Griffins will be awaiting them tomorrow in the final. We'll be back. When we return on the championship, it'll be the Stags of Fairfield and Canisius, and Greg Francis is the player of the game. 21 points for him. He hit 4 early threes, added one in the second half. And Greg Francis with 21 points on 5 of 10 from outside the arc is the Pepsi player of the game. And Mr. Francis is standing by, and a happy man he is, courtside with his coach Paul Cormier and our Glenn Consor.
I'm standing here with Greg Francis and Paul Cormier, a very happy two gentlemen this evening, knowing they're going to the final game of the MAAC conference. Paul, this game, tempo-wise, a little bit strange. You got to admit, I know you guys did a nice job of running the clock down again, using that 35-second clock as an ally, but tell me what you were trying to preach to your kids. So much stoppage of action because of the officials.
Well, you know, I think what we had forced upon the kids or tried to really emphasize is that we can't give up second shots. We felt we could make them take tough shots and not let them get that second shot. And what happened halfway through the first half, we had built up a lead, and I think we let down a little bit, to be quite honest. They started getting offensive rebounds, and then they're powerful. They're a powerful team, and we started fouling them. And then when we foul, we get a stoppage of play, and we're a team that likes the offensive flow and so forth, and they took us right out of that. In the second half, when we went to the foul line because they were in foul problems and we took a timeout and just really emphasized the kids, hey, they're going to foul us. We get to the line, it's fine, but we got to make sure we cash in, and I think we did a pretty good job second half.
What was the strategy defensively against Watson? He's so strong inside, he crashes the offensive boards, and they did a fairly decent job getting him the basketball.
No question. I mean, whatever I did didn't work because he's tough. He's really tough. I think going to the zone, being in a position where we could go to the zone certainly helped, but when they want to isolate him, we really have trouble stopping him. Always have, and unfortunately, he's back for another year, and I'm sure he will next year as well.
Well, I thought you mixed it up well defensively. What about the play of Greg Francis? Now, Greg, I thought you showed great patience on offense, waiting for screens. You had some nice rhythm to your jump shot tonight.
Yeah, the guys were working on that, and when I get my defense going, usually the offense falls into place, so that's what we tried to do tonight.
Now, Colombo, not Colombo actually, was Akbar Wahid was playing you on defense. He's a pretty good defensive player for a freshman.
Yeah, he tried to put the clamp on me, and it had to work a lot tougher to get open, but hats off to Niagara, they did a good job.
Well, what do you think the turning point to this game was?
Well, I think, we came out in such a, just on fire. I mean, we hit every shot, and quite honestly, they didn't hit some open shots. And what we did the first 8 minutes is not give them that second chance. And I think once we established ourselves that way, we were in pretty good shape. And these bunch of kids have a bunch of resiliency. And once we got to a point where we had the lead, it was enough where we didn't have to get into a big-time wake-up call before it was too late. So I think we always had a comfortable lead, and as a result, down the stretch, we were able to go to some zone and, again, hit some key foul shots down the stretch and built up the lead.
Well, congratulations on getting to the final game. Good job, guys.
Thanks, Glenn.
Good job, Greg. All right, let's go back to my broadcast partner, Mike Crispino.
Thanks. Thanks very much, Glenn Consor, and thanks to
Well, I think it's going to be a dynamite final, especially because Canisius is playing such good basketball. There's no surprises now. Canisius has proven that they could play basketball without their leading player, Darryl Barley. It's going to be a great final game.
It has been impressive. Canisius run, of course, to the championship, and they got to the finals with a 1-point victory earlier tonight. And again, Iona eliminated, the #1 seed, in Manhattan eliminated late last night in a close game. So we've had some good close games, and for the teams like Manhattan and Iona, I don't think it's actually over. I think the postseason is still a possibility. And I think for the loser of tomorrow's game,